Señoritas y señores, bienvenidos a mi canal de YouTube. What I just said right there was welcome to my YouTube channel. Ladies and gentlemen, hola, ¿cómo están? Yo soy Señor Barbosa. My name is Mr. Barbosa, and I want to say muchas gracias to all of you taking Español Uno, Spanish 1. And so this is the way we are going to be learning things all throughout the entire school year. You're going to have to check with me online, either through my webpage or here, so that you can learn more Español. This is all to supplement the Spanish material that you're learning in class. And so once again, I want to say thank you very much for taking Spanish. So it's the start of a new school year, and you're probably wondering, Señor Barbosa, ¿por qué? Why? Why aren't you in the classroom? Well, it's because as of this recording, I am officially still on paternity leave. What that means is I just had a couple, well, my family, my wife did. We have welcomed into the world brand new babies, a set of twins, a boy and a girl. And they are life-changing. They have forever changed our lives, my wife and I, and now we have our little family. We have Sam and we have Penny, who we have welcomed in our lives. And what's going on there is that, well, when we're raising baby twins like we are, they take up just about all of our time because they need to be fed, they need to be burped, they need to be, like, their diapers need to be changed, and they're keeping us up all night, like 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I mean, there's no rest in being a new parent. And so that's why I'm not in the classrooms to start the school year, the new school year, but you are in capable hands. You are in more than capable hands. I will be back the day after Labor Day, and then we are going to just keep going with the lessons or the activities at hand. You're probably wondering to yourself, okay, well, Spanish 1. Where do I begin? Can I speak Spanish pretty soon? Am I able to learn Spanish? Why do we need to learn Español? Why is it so important? Because I know that there's quite a few of you out there who are sitting in class and you're thinking to yourself, okay, what's the point of this whole thing? And you might be thinking about that when you're taking Spanish or any other foreign language for the first time. Well, let me tell you, you guys have made a great decision. Spanish is one of those things that you're going to be using in your lifetimes if you stick with it. And it is going to be truly rewarding and truly, truly useful, so very useful in your own personal lives. You're going to have to make sure you have the right mindset coming into La Clase de Español, Spanish class, all right? There's no way you're going to be successful if you come into Spanish class with a negative attitude. You're going to have to try to keep an open mind. You're going to try to just roll with it. There's a lot of things that you're going to learn in Spanish that really don't make sense from an English-speaking point of view. Trust me, I know, because English is my first language. And so when I started finding out all these things about Español, I always thought to myself, ¿por qué? Why? I mean, how come they do this and how come they speak like this, or why do they say this instead of that? Trust me, all right? As the NBA basketball players say, they say trust the process. You gotta trust the process of learning Español. Something else that you gotta keep in mind when learning Spanish for the first time, ladies and gentlemen, you're gonna have to try to have a sense of humor, all right? You're gonna need to know how to laugh at yourself, just kind of have fun with the whole process, you know? If everyone is laughing or giggling at the way you're attempting to speak Spanish, laugh and giggle along with them. I mean, see, if you're too serious about learning Spanish, then it's not going to work for you. You're going to get mad right away. You're going to start, telling people to go fly a kite or whatever like that. You're going to be mad at the world, and there's no way you're going to be able to learn Español under those circumstances, okay? So have fun with it. Have fun with yourself. Have a sense of humor. Laugh, smile, and trust me, it's gonna get you there. See, I grew up speaking English only, and so when it was time for me to visit my relatives in Mexico, it was terrible. I felt bullied, harassed, but the moment when everything changed was when I finally said, when I was 16 or 17 years old, I said to myself, nuts to this, I am gonna learn this language, I'm gonna get good at it, and I'm gonna learn it, embrace it, just do everything I can to absorb it like a sponge and start speaking it. And I stopped taking myself so seriously. I started having fun and laughing, and I stopped stewing about it, and I stopped holding all this negative feeling inside of my chest. And that's when the difference began. Things started opening up like you wouldn't believe. And here we are, fast forward to today. Now I'm teaching it, and I'm here to tell you that I've been to the bottom of the valley when it comes to just people just giving you a hard time about learning this language. And now I am at the top of the mountain, spreading the word that Español is awesome, and you gotta learn it, and it's one of the most rewarding things you'll be able to acquire in your lifetime. One thing that you'll always hear me saying is the following phrase, and you're gonna get sick of me saying this. if it's important to you. Okay, the reason why I say that is because a lot of people, they want to learn Spanish, but not everybody wants to put in the work. Well, let me tell you, just like anything, you need to put in the work in order for you to get good at something. So once again, señoritas y señores, thank you very much for taking Español. I am your profesor, I am your teacher, I am your maestro. But again, I will be back as soon as I'm done with taking care of my baby boy and baby girl here at home. And let's have a great start to the school year, ladies and gentlemen. Let's pay attention to the first lesson of this YouTube series. Here we go. Okay, señoritas y señores, taking me for Español Uno. Let's get right to business. The very first thing that you'll be learning, or one of the first things that you'll be learning in Spanish 1 is the Spanish alphabet. Thank you for having your books in class. You need your libro. Now, if you forget your book often, and if you're caught flat-footed, you're going to lose participation points, which in turn affect your grade negatively. So please, make sure that you bring your book all the time to La Clase de Español. It's very important. It's really, really difficult to do anything without your book in class. Take a look, page 12, página 12. We'll get to numbers a bit later on. Page 12 in your libro. Here it is, el alfabeto. Can you guys say that? Repeat after me. El alfabeto. Yeah, the Spanish alphabet. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen, from the top. Por favor, look, listen, and repeat. And let's say all the letters in Spanish together. Here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, Ñ, O, P, Q, R, R. Can you guys roll your R's? S, T, U, V. Sometimes UV, but we say V around here. W. Sometimes W, but it's more common around here to say W. X. Y. Sometimes yeah, but again, here, Y. And then finally, Z. Alright, did you guys catch all that? If you didn't catch all that, then pause this video, go back, and watch that one more time. Take a look at these young people over here to the right. They're having a conversation. The girl to the left, she's asking a question in Spanish. She's asking this. She's asking, ¿Cómo se escribe libro? And what that means, how do you write libro? Libro is the Spanish word for book. And so the young man is helping her. He says, se escribe, the way you write it, L, I, B, R, O. Libro. All right, so there you have it. Yeah, so while you're looking at page 12, maybe a good idea is for you to start practicing spelling things out in Spanish, pronouncing the letters in Español. I'll begin. So my last name is Barbosa. How do you spell it in Español? B, A, R, B, O, S, A. All right? So there you have it. That's a quick look at the Spanish alphabet, and you will be practicing en la clase de Español. Let me show you a quick way, a general way on how to pronounce many words in Español. Now, the cool thing about Spanish is that, I would say roughly about 90% of the time, if you're reading something in Español, if you're trying to sound it out, you're gonna get it right. That's the cool thing about Spanish, is that it's very phonetic. In other words, what you see is what you get. The way it's put on paper or in a book is the way exactly it's supposed to be sounded out. All right. Sometimes there are tricks. Sometimes there are exceptions to the rule. But generally speaking, if you're able to remember a couple of grammar or pronunciation rules, then you're going to pronounce it right. All right. So this is something that I wrote on my whiteboard last year, and I haven't had time to put this down on a a handout or on a proper document, on a Word document or something like that. So I took a picture of it, and hopefully you guys can make it out. But these are a few things to keep in mind when you're reading or trying to pronounce Español for the very first time. Let's go over some basic rules from the top. All right, you've probably seen two L's side by side put together. In fact, if you remember in your Spanish textbook, you see that there are a few letters in the alphabet that we don't have in the English alphabet. One of them is the double L. All right. Oh, it's not here. Okay. All right. So if you put L and then right after it is another L, that makes a Y sound. Okay. The double L next to each other is going to make a Y sound. So whenever you're trying to say my name is in Spanish, one of the ways you say my name is, you can say me llamo. You see that? Me llamo. Okay, so anytime you see the double L right over there, okay, don't say me llamo, say me llamo. L, okay? One L plus one L makes a Y. Okay, don't forget. Me llamo. When you see a Q and a U, a Q and U, in that order, put together, it's going to make a K sound, okay? Q, U, in that order, put together, makes a K sound. Check it out. Queso. Cheese. Queso. Okay, don't say queso. Say queso. So please be sure that you pronounce it with a K sound. Queso. All right. Here's something that we don't have in English. Something called an ñ. Ñ. It's kind of tough to see here, but I hope you guys can make it out. Ñ. It makes a ñ sound. Ñ sound, okay? So, if you want to say boy in Español, niño. One more time. Niño. Ñ. Ñ, 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 okay? Niño. It's got to have that little squiggly line. It's called a tilde above the N, all right? Niño, all right? Niño. So if you see that squiggly line, that tilde above the letter N, make sure you pronounce it ñ, all right? The letter H is silent in Español, all right? The letter H is silent, generally speaking. Just like the English word honest, you know, nobody says honest, so it's kind of like a placeholder in Spanish. So you don't say hasta luego, see you later. You say hasta luego, okay? So it's there, it's part of the spelling, it's part of the word. Don't leave it out. It's a placeholder. You need to include it when you write it. Hasta luego. H is silent, okay? So we have a word in Spanish that means and it's a whole word. It's just one letter, but it's a whole word, okay? The word y means and in Spanish. Sometimes, and as you get better in Spanish, you can also write the letter E for and in Spanish, and you can also write the letter I in Spanish. That also means and, but again, that's much more, that's later on in the future, once you get really good at Español. But for now, just know this. The letter Y is its own word. It's E, all right? So check it out. If I have tacos and burritos in Spanish, tacos y burritos. You see that? Tacos y burritos. So the letter Y, once again, it's a Y in as if you're talking about the letter itself, but if you're talking about the word, then it's E, okay? Tacos y burritos, all right? I guess I caught a little bit of the flash from my camera for this one. Let me see if I can try to walk you through it. The letter Z is pronounced like a letter S in Spanish, all right? So let me show you. The Spanish word for shoe is zapato. Zapato, okay? But notice I did not say zapato. I said zapato, okay? So make sure that you remember to pronounce your Z's in Spanish like S's, okay? And then finally, ladies and gentlemen, you probably already know this. The letter J is pronounced like the letter H, okay? So a very common name in Spanish, Juan, all right? And so make sure that you pretend in your mind that the J is kind of like an H, and Juan, okay? Don't say Juan, say Juan, all right? So those are just a couple of basic pronunciation rules, and if you're able to memorize these rules and sound out whatever you're reading in a book, then I guarantee you're gonna pronounce it correctly. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, don't worry, this is Español Uno. Don't be afraid to read things aloud and to make a few mistakes. Once again, making mistakes is the way that we learn, and so don't let anyone give you a hard time about pronouncing things differently or like sounding funny or any of that. That's a bunch of nonsense, okay? Soldier forth, stand your ground, keep going, and through perseverance and through hard work and maintaining a sense of humor, you're gonna learn this language. Trust me on that one, okay? Next up, señoritas y señores, los números. The numbers. Numbers in Spanish. Now, most of you, because we live in Southern California, you probably already know how to count to 10. Awesome, cool. But for this first preliminary chapter, the chapter before chapter 1 in your Spanish book, and this is going to be on página, page 7, página 7, page 7, you're going to need to know how to you're going to need to know how to count to 100. Yeah, so let's get right at it. So please have your libro, or you could just look right over here, and I'm going to walk you through how to pronounce these en español. So once again, look, listen, and repeat. Let's start with the 0 and go all the way up to 100. En español. Here we go. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good? All right, here we go. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, I'm going to pause right over here. And if you missed any of that, once again, pause this video, go back, watch it again. But I'm going to pause right over here just to take a moment to tell you there's a little bit of a formula from here on out, from 21 to 100, that you're going to need to know. All right. So what's going to happen, you're going to say the Spanish equivalent to 20 and 1, 20 and 2, 20 and 3. Am I making any sense at all? 20 and 4, 20 and 5. Do you know what I mean? So let's start with 21 and repeat after me. 21. All right. Now you could probably guess what's going to happen next. So you're going to keep the 20 part and then swap out the uno with the number 2 in Spanish, dos. So now 22. Once again, 22. And then repeat that pattern. Do the same thing for 3. 23. And then you keep going. 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. And then you get to 30. 30. When you get to 30, do the same exact thing. 30 and 1, 30 and 2, all of that in Spanish. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. We got to 40. 40, okay? And then again, the pattern repeats. 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. All right? And I could go on and on and on, but I think you get the point. So from 21 all the way up to 99, you're going to have to name the tens number and then say and then the single digit after it. So here we go. Let's go over the rest of these on page 7. Repeat after me. 50. All right, so if you want to say 55, it would be 55, okay? 60. So if you want to say 67, 67, all right? 70. If you want to say 72, 72. Be very careful. Tengan cuidado. That means be very careful in Español. Because 60 and 70 in Spanish, look at this. Very similar, very easy to get those mixed up. 60 and 70. Watch out. Ojo. That means look out, okay? So 60, 60, 70, 70. Very small difference, and it's really easy to get those mixed up, so be very careful. 80, 90, and then finally to say 100 in Spanish, 100. All right? Again, pause, go back if you want to repeat these one more time. That's going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to leave your comment below in order for you to receive points, okay? If you watch this video and you forget to comment below, then that means you get 0 points, and that goes in the gradebook. Now, what do you leave down below in the comment section? It's your proper heading, your name, date, period, and that's it. However, keep in mind that you are responsible for everything I teach on these videos, okay? So don't skip out on anything that I teach on here. You're going to need to know all of this information, because when the time comes when there's a test and a quiz, yes, we have those. When there's a test or a quiz in the classroom and you get a bad grade, one of the first things I'm going to be asking you, have you watched these videos? And the proof is going to be right there, okay? So don't get lazy on me. I know you can do it. Make sure you watch these videos and go back, and you can pause and you can go forward, and anything that you need to learn or recap or practice on. And it's going to help you tremendously throughout the entire school year. That's going to do it for me, Señor Barbosa from home. And I will be back next time for a brand new fresh video to help you guys out learn more Español. And then I will be back in the classroom very, very soon. Muchas gracias a todos. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a great start to the school year, and I will see you real soon. Adios.